Hello, we start now the second part of the first lecture. All right, we stopped at exercise 3. We were talking about appositives and we had the examples, and then we do the exercise together. Let's look at the book. Each of the following sentences contains an appositive. Underline the subject once and the verb twice. Put the appositives in boxes and indicate if the sentences are correct C or incorrect I. طيب نشوف أول اتنين which are done for you. The daughter of a teacher, the new teacher is doing a good job with the children. The daughter of a teacher, and then you have a comma. The new teacher is doing a good job with the children. ما دام أنا عندي comma يبقى الجزء اللي قبل الكوما ده is not the subject, it's an appositive. The subject is the new teacher, وطبعا the new teacher الكلمة الأساسية هي teacher is doing a good job with the children. طيب تعالوا نشوف الجملة اللي بعد كده. Last year a friend separated by two commas came top of her class. الجملة دي غلط. عارفين ليه؟ عشان حاجة واحدة بس. Subjects are not separated from the verbs by a comma. What is separated by a comma is the appositive but not the subject. الجملة دي عشان تبقى صح كان لازم تقول last year a friend came top of her class. لكن ما دام عندي هنا comma يعني just the introduction of the comma makes the sentence wrong. New Year's Day رأس السنة يعني January the 1st. معلش الكتابة معمولة بالعربي الأرقام. New Year's Day comma January the 1st comma يبقى that part which is separated by two commas is an appositive of New Year's Day. يبقى New Year's Day is the subject, is the verb, not a holiday in Egypt. يبقى New Year's Day is not a holiday in Egypt. يبقى this sentence is correct. طيب let's look at number 4. Finally Mubarak finally comma طبعا finally جاي في الأول ده مجرد إضافة للجملة أخيرا فلازم يبقى فيه comma. Mubarak comma stepped down. This sentence is again wrong. ليه؟ Because the subject Mubarak should not be separated from the verb with a comma. عشان الجملة دي كانت تبقى صح يبقى كان لازم نعمل ايه؟ Yes, we should omit this comma. Mubarak stepped down. Today's lunch, comma, chicken from yesterday's dinner tasted much better today. يبقى today's lunch, subject, tasted much better today. Tasted is the verb. يبقى this part which is separated by commas, chicken from yesterday's dinner, this is a positive of today's lunch. يعني الغدا بتاع النهارده اللي هو فراخ فاضلة من عشاء امبارح tasted much better today. طيب this sentence is correct. The only entrance to the garage, the door was left open all the time. طيب فين الجملة الأساسية بتاعتي؟ The door يعني ما اقدرش اقول the only entrance، ما اقدرش اقول ان كلمة entrance is the subject. ليه؟ because I have a comma. ولا garage. because I have a comma يبقى كل الجزء ده مش مهم. It's not the subject. The subject is the door was left open all the time. That's the rest of the sentence. يبقى this sentence is correct. The new wallpaper design, white and pink stripes makes the room feel larger. برضو again, the part which is separated by commas is the appositive which you can omit. It relates to the subject. but it's not the subject. هو نفسه لكن ما هوش السبجكت بتاع الجملة. يبقى الجملة هي ايه؟ The subject is the new wallpaper design، وأهم كلمة طبعا هي design، makes the room feel larger، makes verb the room object وهكذا. طيب يبقى white and pink stripes دي ايه؟ دي positive. The sentence is correct. In the heat of the summer, a refrigerator would not turn on. In the heat of the summer, a refrigerator would not turn on. الجملة دي صح، لكن do I have an appositive here? I do not have an appositive. What do I have separated by a comma? In the heat of the summer. في حر الصيف. في حر الصيف. في حر الصيف دي يعني it's not the same as a refrigerator. يبقى this sentence is correct, but it does not have an appositive. A refrigerator would not turn on in the heat of the summer. In the heat of the summer is only a prepositional phrase. دي ملهاش دعوة بالappositive. لكن الجملة The AC، قلنا AC اللي هي abbreviation for air conditioner. The AC, the most powerful of its kind, was finally installed in the reception. Was finally installed. أخيرا اتركب in the reception. طيب the AC, that's the subject. Where is the verb? Was finally installed. Was installed. That's the verb. طيب the most powerful of its kind دي عايدة على ايه؟ بتوصف ايه؟ the AC أقوى واحد في النوع ده. أقوى air conditioner في النوع ده. What's wrong here? If it is an appositive, it should be separated by two commas, and I do not have a comma here. What makes this sentence correct is the addition of a comma. Then the appositive, اللي هو the most powerful of its kind, should be separated by two commas. إلا طبعا إذا جه في الأول يعني لو قلت the most powerful of its kind, comma, the AC was finally installed تبقى صح. لكن ما دام جاي بعد AC بعد النون لازم يبقى separated by two commas. طيب let's look at the last sentence. A teacher for so many years, the headmaster sometimes taught classes. The headmaster subject, taught verb. طيب a teacher for so many years, comma, this is an appositive for headmaster. Alright? تبقى الجملة دي برضو صح. طيب something else that we should not confuse, and this is rule number 3. Present participles are not verbs. يعني ايه present participles؟ انتوا عارفين كتير بنقول الفعل وفيه ing اللي هو بنستعمله مع مثلا continuous tenses. اما اقول he is reading بقول is reading is a verb in the present continuous tense. يبقى احنا عارفين حكاية the verb with an ing. The verb with an ing is not a verb. It's part of a verb. يعني أنا لما أقول he is reading, I cannot say that reading is the verb. The verb is reading. Reading is what we call a present participle. مش انتوا عارفين ان الفعل ليه 3 يعني a verb has 3 forms. يعني ان انا بقول مثلا يعني let's take a regular verb. ان انا بقول مثلا ايه play, played, played. Play is the infinitive, المصدر, and the present tense form of the verb اللي هو بستعمله للpresent simple. Played with the addition of ed, this is the past tense. وانتوا عارفين كلمة past participle in played الأخيرة, this is the past participle. Present participle بقى اللي هو الفعل in its base form اللي هو play ازود له ing يبقى playing. هقول ان playing is a present participle. Alright? Now, present participles are not verbs, but they are they can be part of verbs. They can be other things as well. Alright? طيب, let's look at them. Present participles are not verbs. A present participle, ده الكلام اللي قلناه دلوقتي. A present participle is the ing form of the verb. It can be, number one, part of the verb, or number two, it can be an adjective. احنا المرة دي we are going to talk about present participles being parts of the verbs and being adjectives. برضو من استعمالات ال present participle انه ممكن يبقى noun, لكن we are not discussing it as a noun in this part. It is a verb when it follows a form of the verb be. يعني ايه a form of the verb be؟ يعني نقول is, was, will be, were. أقول were doing, was doing, will be doing. هنا يعني there is a form of verb to be and the present participle follows it, فهتبقى جزء من الفعل. It is an adjective when it does not. يعني ايه؟ It's an adjective, يعني the present participle is an adjective when it does not follow a form of the verb be. تعالوا نبص على المثالين دول. The child is sleeping in the car. The child subject is sleeping verb, وانتوا عارفين in the car, not a main part of the sentence, but it adds information. But the main part of the sentence هو ايه؟ The subject and the verb. The child is sleeping. طيب, تعالوا نشوف المثال التاني. هنا طبعا is sleeping, that's the verb in this sentence. The child sleeping in the car was cold. فين الجملة هنا؟ الجملة يعني subject and verb. The child subject was verb, cold complement of verb to be, لأن verb to be ما يجيش لوحده، لازم يجي وراه complement, something to complete it. The child was cold. and was sleeping دي هتبقى ايه؟ sleeping اللي هي ال present participle is an adjective. طيب, تعالوا نبص على exercise 4. Each of the following sentences contains one or more present participles. Underline the subjects once and the verbs twice. Circle the present participles. هي مش circle, هي put in boxes زي ما هتلاقوها وهي محلولة بعد المحاضرة. Circle the present participles and label them أقول يعني label them as adjectives or verbs. Then indicate if the sentences are correct or incorrect. Type. The schools demanding the lowest fees will have the most students. المدارس اللي بتاخد أقل مصاريف هتاخد أكتر طلاب أو أكتر تلاميذ. طيب, the schools subject will have verb. The schools will have the most students. دي الجملة الأساسية بتاعتي. demanding اللي هي ال present participle دي هتبقى إيه؟ لأنها ما جاتش بعد verb to be، هتبقى adjective for the word schools. خلاص؟ طيب. Those applicants are completing their forms should wait at the office. Those applicants المتقدمين are completing their forms. طيب, أنا ممكن أقول those applicants are completing their forms. بيملوا الطلبات بتاعتهم وتبقى الجملة صح. Those applicants are completing تبقى verb, their forms تبقى object. لكن الجملة هنا ما انتهتش. أنا عندي should wait دي هي it's the verb of applicants. طيب, إذا كانت الجملة الصح those applicants أو الجملة الأساسية those applicants should wait at the office يبقى completing ما هياش are completing should be not a part of the verb but it should be an adjective لأن أنا عندي الفعل أهو should wait يبقى those applicants completing their forms يبقى are is incorrect دي اللي بتخلي الجملة غلط alright طيب نشوف الجملة اللي بعد كده the carpenters النجارين are demonstrating furniture at spaces in the fair the carpenters subject are demonstrating هي الفعل furniture it's an object at spaces in the fair prepositional phrase تبقى الجملة دي correct the parties are organizing the largest campaign will attract the most voters طيب the parties يعني الأحزاب أنا عندي are organizing وعندي will attract وعندي the parties هي الفاعل طيب ده الفاعل فين الفعل بتاعه زي ما قلت لكم لو قلت the parties are organizing the largest campaign ممكن تبقى جملة صح ويبقى ده الفعل بتاعها are organizing لكن أنا عندي will attract يبقى will attract هي الفعل بتاع the parties و are organizing should not be a verb it should be a present participle used as an adjective فهتبقى ايه the parties طبعا الجملة دي is كده ايه incorrect ايه اللي هيخليها صح اني اخلي organizing adjective يعني ما فيش are يبقى the parties organizing the largest campaign مالهم will attract the most voters هيجذبوا اكتر اصوات the student getting 90 again in Arabic the student getting 90% is given a scholarship طيب the student subject is given verb يبقى getting هنا الجملة دي صح لأن محدش قال the student is getting is given يبقى the student getting الطالب اللي بيحصل على 90% is getting a scholarship بياخد منحة طيب the actor was trying to impress the audience was often interrupted طيب the actor was trying the actor subject was interrupted هي الفعل يبقى was trying دي مفروض تبقى صفة يعني هي بالمنظر ده it's incorrect I should omit this verb and هتبقى the actor trying to impress the audience الممثل اللي بيحاول يأثر على المشاهدين was often interrupted كانوا بيقطعوه the milk was turning sour the milk was turning sour يعني اللبن بيحمض بيروب the milk was turning sour because of the heat in the trucks carrying it to the supermarkets أنا عندي هنا كم فعل يعني ما عنديش هنا أي فعل بعد كده يبقى the milk was turning sour يبقى هي دي الفعل the milk subject was turning is the verb sour يبقى this sentence is correct any citizen desiring official transcripts should complete a special form نشوف الجملة من قبل ما نقول معناها يعني any citizen طيب دي subject desiring official transcripts should complete مش should complete دي is the verb يبقى desiring صح لأنه مفيش قبلها verb to be and it is a present participle used as an adjective. يبقى any citizen desiring official transcripts، أي مواطن طالب أوراق رسمية should complete a special form، عليه إنه يملى طلب معين. يبقى this sentence is correct. خدوا بالكم إن في نهاية المحاضرة هتلاقوا all the exercises answered with boxes and underlined subjects and verbs and so on. The advertisements were announcing special offers attracted many customers. برضو ما ينفعش يبقى عندي were announcing verb وعندي attracted another verb. يبقى this sentence as it stands is incorrect. The advertisements attracted many customers هي الجملة. يبقى were announcing دي هتبقى adjective لأن every subject should have one verb. The advertisements announcing الإعلانات اللي كانت بتعلن عن عروض خاصة attracted many customers. طيب نشوف آخر جملة. The pepper seasoning the meat was very hot. The pepper فين الفعل بتاع الفعل the pepper was very hot. طيب يبقى seasoning ما قلناش the pepper is seasoning. هي كده صح لأن الفعل هو ده that's the verb was. يبقى the pepper seasoning the meat. Seasoning is an adjective and the sentence is correct. معنى الجملة ايه بقى؟ الفلفل اللي بيتبل اللي هو متبل اللحمة was very hot كان يعني in this rule number 4 we said that present participles are not subjects. هنا برضو هنقول ان past participles are not verbs. احنا قلنا ان الفعل ليه 3 اشكال they play played played. played الأخرانية دي اللي هي the past participle يعني نشوف بقى فعل irregular يعني ما أقول مثلا write wrote written. written is the past participle. Now written I cannot say that written is a verb. Again like the present participle it is part of a verb. It's not a verb. Part of a verb. Present participles and past participles are not verbs. They are parts of verbs. Alright? وزي ما قلنا in the present participle can be part of a verb or it can be an adjective. The past participle as well can be part of a verb or it can be an adjective. But I'll tell you what difference there is between an adjective which is a present participle and an adjective which is a past participle. نقوله كده بسرعة يعني نعرفه من قبل ما يجي في الكتاب أو في المحاضرات. بصوا the present participle is an adjective when the noun does the action and the past participle is an adjective when the action is done to the noun. يعني ايه؟ لو خدنا مثلا washing اللي هي present participle washed اللي هي past participle. طيب I use washing if the noun does the action and I use washed the past participle if the action is done to the noun. يعني لو انا بقول مثلا machine اقول washing ولا washed؟ الغسالة هي اللي بتغسل فهقول washing machine. But I do not say washing clothes. دي هتبقى معنى تاني خالص. ممكن اقول washing clothes بس ده هيبقى معنى مختلف تماما. طيب هقول washed clothes. washed clothes لأن the action is done to the clothes فاستعمل past participle. أقول مثلا إيه boring. أنتوا عارفين bore يمل أو يزهق يعني. أقول boring program أو boring film لأن الفيلم هو اللي بيزهق الناس فهيبقى boring. لكن الأودينس نفسهم هقول bored audience. alright فهمنا دي. طيب تعالوا نبص على الكتاب بقى. Past participles are not verbs, you know that. The past participle often ends in ed, but there are many irregular verbs زي ما قلنا مثلا play, played, played، لكن قلنا write, wrote, written. In regular verbs, the simple past and the past participle both end in ed. It is also used as an adjective. طيب يعني ما أقول مثلا he played football. Played is a verb. He subject played verb and football object. طيب he has played football. برضو played is part of the verb. The verb is has played. بعدين لما هناخد الأفعال we are going to know the difference between played and has played. He has played football. برضو it's a verb. طيب نيجي لتالت واحدة and let's correct this as well. The match played yesterday was on TV. مش أنا ممكن أقول the match was on TV. طيب played yesterday, played is a past participle which is used as an adjective. The match played مش هقول the match playing، أقول the team playing. The team playing لأن the team الفريق هم اللي بيلعبوا، لكن the match بيتلعب فهقول the match played. زي washing machine washed clothes. The past participle is part of the verb when it is accompanied by the verb be or the verb have. يعني بقول هنا has played وبقول is played, either verb to be or the verb have. When it is not, it is an adjective as in example number 3. طيب let's look at this example then. The machine bought yesterday will arrive tomorrow. الجملة دي ناقصها ايه؟ الجملة دي صح. The machine bought yesterday will arrive tomorrow. The machine ادي subject, will arrive verb, bought هتبقى adjective for machine, right? لكن المشكلة ان انا هنا عندي blank. طيب البلانك دي عايزة حاجة مهمة، يعني عايزة مثلا subject ولا verb ولا حاجة؟ لا. يبقى عايزة حاجة which is not a verb and not a subject and not even an adjective, because I have an adjective here and I have a verb here will arrive. طيب أبص كده ما أقدرش أقول the machine has bought ولا the machine were bought ولا the machine was bought ولا the machine it bought. ها؟ لأن دول أفعال. ها؟ ودي CD is a subject which is the machine فمش هكرره تاني، لكن just هي دي الحاجة الوحيدة اللي ممكن احطها وما تعملش حاجة because it just tells you about the time. Just bought yesterday لسه يا دوب شاريينها امبارح. Just bought yesterday. Okay? طيب. It is clear that the subject is the machine and the verb is will arrive. A and B are wrong and C is a pronoun. A pronoun it which is not needed. Answer D is the correct one because it does not add anything which is a verb or a subject or something which we have in the sentence. Right, let's look at exercise 5. Each of the following sentences contains one or more past participles. Underline the subjects once and the verbs twice. Circle the past participles and mark them as adjectives or verbs. Then indicate if the sentences are correct or incorrect. طيب نشوف الجمل اللي جاية دي. I don't know why they are in this font, but never mind. The job was offered to the man was not accepted. طيب the job verb subject was offered على بعضها كده ممكن تبقى verb. offered دي past participle و accepted past participle و was not accepted دي برضو ممكن تبقى verb, right? طيب the job was offered to the man was not accepted. الجملة دي على فكرة معلش ده مكتوب هنا صح لكن هي غلط incorrect. ليه؟ يا إما أقول the job was offered to the man وخلاص هتبقى was offered فعل لكن ما ينفعش إن أنا يبقى عندي فعلين. يبقى مفروض إن الجملة الفعل الأولاني ده ما يبقاش فعل فمفروض يبقى إيه؟ the job offered to the man was not accepted ودي is not a verb but it is an adjective. alright. طيب تاني واحدة the house advertised in the newspaper was sold. طيب نشوف كده the house subject was sold verb يبقى advertised دي مفروض انها مش هتبقى was advertised ده هي advertised يبقى هتبقى it's not a verb but it is an adjective. okay. طيب let's look at number 3 then. The cake was baked in the oven at low temperature. The cake subject was baked verb لأن ما عنديش أي verb تاني بعد كده. was baked in the oven at low temperature يبقى was baked هنا it's the past participle and it's part of the verb it's not an adjective. طيب number 4 the books were recommended by the professor will be in the library next week. طيب the books subject were recommended على بعضها كده it's a verb. will be it's a verb يبقى I cannot have two verbs يبقى هي the books will be in the library next week يبقى were recommended دي مش مفروض تبقى فعل مفروض تبقى adjective هنقول ايه the books recommended by the professor اللي أوصى بيها الأستاذ will be in the library next week. The plane was attacked by the hijackers came under the control of the airport police. The plane subject attacked was attacked is the past participle was بتخليها فعل. طيب لكن أنا عندي هنا الفعل اللي هو came هو الفعل بتاع الجملة يبقى was attacked ما احناش عايزينها تبقى فعل هتبقى adjective يبقى هشيل verb be. يبقى the plane attacked by the hijackers الطائرة اللي هاجمها الهايجاكرز اللي هم اللي بيخطفوا الطيارات came under the control of the airport police. The rebels suspected in the attacks were put to trial. The rebels suspected in the attacks were put to trial. عندي the rebels subject were put و suspected الاتنين past participles لكن الفعل هو عندي ايه were put. The rebels were put to trial يبقى suspected it's a past participle used as an adjective and it doesn't have a verb here so it is correct. يعني لو كنت قلت the rebels were suspected were put طبعا غلط لكن the rebels suspected were put to trial. The fish soup is made by my mother is tastier than that in any of the restaurants. شوربة السمك اللي بتعملها أمي أحلى من أي شوربة تانية في المطاعم. طيب the fish soup. طيب the fish soup فين السبجكت هنا؟ soup ولا fish؟ أنا عندي اسمين، اسم منهم بستعمله كصفة. the soup. the soup هي السبجكت. fish is an adjective. the soup is made by my mother is tastier. لا، is tastier هي الفعل. يبقى كأن is made مش مفروض تبقى فعل، مفروض تبقى the fish soup made by my mother. Made is a past participle here, which is used as an adjective. Let's look at number 8. The instructions are written in the manual, must be strictly followed. Instruction subjects are written verb. Must be followed another verb. يبقى one of them should be a verb and the other should be an adjective. The instructions written in the manual في الدليل بتاع اني اشغل تلفزيون اشغل كمبيوتر حاجة، يبقى the instructions written in the manual. written هنا بتبقى هي past participle used as an adjective. Must be strictly followed. Must be followed is the verb in the sentence. Type. Let's look at number 9. All ambassadors were invited to the National Day reception at the opera. All ambassadors, جميع السفراء, that's the subject, were invited to the National Day reception بالحفلة اللي في يوم العيد القومي at the opera. I do not have another past participle. That's the only one I have, so it is the verb, part of the verb. Where invited is the verb. Any bills, bills يعني فواتير. Any bills paid by the Visa card will be paid before the end of the month. Any bills paid. paid هنا كأنها past participle used as an adjective لأن عندي will be paid هي الفعل، يبقى الجملة دي صح. Any bills paid adjective مدفوع عن طريق الفيزا كارد لازم تندفع قبل آخر الشهر. طيب تعالوا نشوف مع بعض ازاي بتيجي أسئلة الامتحان. انتوا عارفين ان بعد كل سكيل كان بيبقى فيه كده سؤال وفيه 4 اختيارات، وبنشوف ايه الاختيار الوحيد، هو بيبقى اختيار وحيد بس هو اللي صح. ده معناه ايه؟ ان احنا لما بنقرا الجمله بنشوف الجمله دي محتاجه ايه to complete it correctly. طيب نشوف الجمله الاولانيه. نجيب محفوظ born in Cairo famous as a novelist. طيب زي ما انتوا شايفين ان born in Cairo محدش يقول ان born is a verb. انا عندي نجيب محفوظ is a subject. طيب born in Cairo and it is between 2 commas, that means that it's not a main part of the sentence. وborn born ما هياش فعل. طيب يبقى انا هنا محتاجه فعل، وانتوا عارفين كمان ان اي حاجه الاقيها مفصوله في جمله between 2 commas, that means it's a part of the sentence that I can just omit. طيب أنا عندي إيه؟ نجيب محفوظ born in Cairo famous as a novelist. famous دي ما يعني عايزة قبلها verb. طيب let's look at this. became famous as a novelist, that's a verb. and became أنا ما أقدرش أقول and. why should I say and? what am I adding? I'm not adding sentences or phrases or anything. ما اقدرش اقول برضو نجيب محفوظ born in Cairo he was، لان هي نفسها نجيب محفوظ and you do not use the subject more than once. and he became برضو نفس الحكاية. I should not use and. انا ممكن كنت اقول، عارفين امتى ممكن اقول and؟ لو انا بربط جملتين ببعض زي ما هنشوف في المحاضرة التانية. يعني لو كنت بقول نجيب محفوظ was born in Cairo كان بقى عندي اهو was born كانت هتبقى فعل لو في was born. لكن هي مش كده. كانت هتبقى نجيب محفوظ was born in Cairo and he became famous as a novelist. طيب أنا ما عنديش هنا فعل، يبقى أنا هنا محتاجة فعل. إيه الفعل الوحيد اللي عندي؟ أنا عندي became وعندي he was. طيب أنا مش عايزة he لأن أنا عندي نجيب محفوظ is my subject. يبقى هقول نجيب محفوظ born in Cairo became famous as a novelist. كان ممكن أقول برضو was famous as a novelist لو كانت just was. وعمر ما يجيني على فكرة في الاختيارات اللي زي دي عمر ما يجيني became و was، لأن معناها إن كان هيبقى عندي دي صح ودي صح. هتلاقوا إن دايما اختيار واحد هو اللي بيبقى صح. alright. طيب نشوف المثال اللي بعد كده. The river Nile blank from Lake Victoria into the Mediterranean Sea. طيب the river Nile, it's the subject. فين الفعل؟ مفيش فعل. So I decide from the beginning that I need a verb. طيب عندي it flowed. Flowed is a verb. حتى لو ما مش عارفة flowed يعني ايه، هاخد بالي ان انا هنا عندي flowed ed، وانتوا عارفين ed دي بتبقى في الفعل، وعندي نفسها برضو flows وعندي flowing، يبقى معناها ان ده فعل. flow is a verb. طيب مش هقول it flowed لان it is the river Nile. I use just one subject for one verb. I can use one subject for many verbs, but just one subject for one verb. يبقى مش هقول it flowed، وحتى flowed كمان غلط، لأن إذا أنا بتكلم على the river Nile بينبع من فين؟ يبقى this is a fact of life. It's a reality. ما أقدرش أستعمله في الماضي. طيب عندي flows that's a verb. flowing أقول the river Nile flowing is not a verb, you know that. with flowing waters طبعا ملهاش معنى خالص هنا. I only need a verb. يبقى I'm going to choose this one. The river Nile flows from Lake Victoria into the Mediterranean Sea. طيب تعالوا نشوف المثال الأخير. The tetracyclines، انتوا عارفين التتراسايكلين antibiotic. The tetracyclines, antibiotics, are used to treat infections. طيب انتوا عارفين ان انا ممكن تبقى الجملة بس the tetracyclines are used to treat infections. طيب ايه اللي هيبقى separated by two commas and does not make a difference in meaning؟ انتوا فاكرين طبعا البدل او الopposition. طيب لو قلت the tetracyclines are a family of antibiotics are used، لا هو الفعل ده عندي يبقى أنا I cannot use this verb. The tetracyclines being a family antibiotics، ما أقدرش أقول a family antibiotics، a family of antibiotics. طيب لو بصيت على choice number 3 the tetracyclines a family of antibiotics are used to treat infections. The tetracyclines their family is antibiotics. لو قلت their family is antibiotics ده هنا ده أنا عندي فاعل وفعل وشغلانة بين two commas after the subject. You know that you have an opposition or you have what we call something that refers to the subject that is related to the subject but not the subject. يبقى هنا اللي هختاره ايه؟ The tetracyclines, a family of antibiotics, are used to treat infections. Thank you, and we meet again for the next lecture. Thank you so much.